66 million years ago, dinosaurs ruled the Earth. They dominated every ecosystem, top predators, giants. Then, they vanished. Today, in New York, a crow watches a person walk by. That crow is a dinosaur. That person is the descendant of the small mammals the dinosaurs barely noticed. The tables have turned, and now it watches. Perhaps that crow remembers, deep in its DNA, that its ancestors once ruled. It wonders, how long until your time ends too? This isn't just one dinosaur's story, it's the story of them all. And 66 million years ago, the asteroid just hit. The world is ending. 75% of all species will die in the coming years. The age of the dinosaurs is over. But not all dinosaurs died. One day, in a forest that would later be called North America, a small feathered dinosaur, slightly larger than a crow, curled up inside a hollow tree. Outside, the world is engulfed in fire and death. But inside this tree, it survives, because its descendants will do the same. They will witness everything that happens next. Witness is a small theropod dinosaur species from the same family as the Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus. But it bears no resemblance to those giants. It is small, it is completely feathered, and it can fly, not glide like a pteranodon, but actually flap its wings and fly. It is a species that paleontologists will one day call a proto-bird or early bird dinosaur. The line between dinosaurs and birds is blurred because these are bird dinosaurs. They are the living continuation of the theropod lineage. Witness survives the collision. It eats insects, seeds, and small prey. It has an ability to adapt that the giant dinosaurs did not possess. When the forests disappear, it moves to areas where plants still grow. When food is scarce, it changes its diet. When the climate changes, it migrates. And it reproduces. Their offspring carry their genes, and their offspring's offspring. Over the next million years, they evolve, they diversify. They fill the ecological niches left vacant by extinction. They become the ancestors of all modern birds. But they are still dinosaurs. This never changes. The DNA remains. The skeletal structure remains. The evolutionary lineage continues unbroken. Fast forward 10 million years. The world has healed. Winter is long gone. The forests have returned. Mammals, once small, timid creatures hiding from dinosaurs, have begun to diversify and grow. A bird the size of a crow sits on a tree, watching the small dinosaur below. It is the size of a cat. The bird doesn't know this mammal is special. It doesn't know this lineage will eventually produce humans. To the bird, it's just another prey animal, another creature sharing the forest. Dinosaurs, in bird form, are observing the mammals that will replace them. Fast forward 30 million years. 36 million years after the asteroid. Birds have diversified magnificently. There are thousands of species. Predatory birds, scavenger birds, seed-eating birds, fish-hunting birds. They have conquered every habitat, forests, plains, coasts, even the first grasslands. Mammals continue to evolve. Primates become more sophisticated, larger brains, better vision, more complex social structures. A raven sits in a tree and watches a group of early anthropoid primates moving among the treetops below. They are our ancestors, perhaps 30 million years before humans, but they already show signs of intelligence. Tool use is still a distant future, but the foundations are being laid. The raven watches. It learns their behavioral patterns. It steals food from their gathering places. The primates barely notice the bird. It's just part of the environment. But the raven's brain, evolved from dinosaur intelligence, honed over millions of years, is processing, learning, adapting to these strange mammals. Fast forward another 30 million years. 6 million years ago. A crow watches a group of early hominids, our direct ancestors, the first species to walk, upright continuously, moving across the African savanna. These hominids are not yet human, Australopithecus, or similar species. They walk on 2 legs, but their brains are still relatively small. They use simple tools, stones to crack nuts, sticks to dig for insects. The crow follows them, not exactly out of curiosity because birds don't think like humans, but because of learned behavior. Where hominids go, there is usually food, discarded nuts, disturbed insects, leftovers. The hominids occasionally notice the crow. They shoo it away, but they don't think it's important. It's just a bird. But that bird is a dinosaur. It watches. It always watches, as our ancestors take their first steps toward humanity. Fast forward 5 million years. 1 million years ago. A raven sits on a rocky outcrop, watching the Homo erectus below, now clearly human-like, with fire, more sophisticated tools, organized hunting. Fire changes everything. The crow learned that fire meant food, cooked meat scraps, roasted seeds. At dawn, while humans were still waking up, it learned to approach human camps, steal food, and vanish. Humans sometimes threw stones at the crow. But the crow was clever. It learned to stay out of range. It learned which humans were dangerous, which were careless. For the first time, a relationship begins to form between the descendants of dinosaurs and the descendants of mammals. Not exactly friendship, but coexistence, mutual awareness. Humans don't know that a creature that ruled the earth millions of years before mammals appeared is watching them. But the raven knows. More accurately, the raven's instincts know. Deep in its DNA lies the memory of dominance, of being at the top, of ruling, and now it scavenges the remains of mammals. Fast forward 700,000 years. 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens emerges. Us, modern humans. Still in Africa, still small populations, but clearly human now. A crow watches a group of early Homo sapiens create art, ochre drawings on rocks. It doesn't understand what art is, but it recognizes pattern making. It recognizes intelligence. And perhaps there is a recognition in the crow's deep subconscious processes. These mammals are different. These mammals think, they plan, they create. These mammals are becoming dangerous. The crow watches a young human child trying to catch it. The child is clumsy, slow. The crow easily flies away, staying out of reach. The child laughs, gives up, returns to the adults. The crow watches, learns. It records the information. Young humans are not a threat. Adults can be. Humans and birds, mammals and dinosaurs. Learning to coexist in a world where the roles are reversed. Fast forward 250,000 years. 50,000 years ago. Humans left Africa. They spread across the world. And wherever they went, corvids, crows, ravens, jackdaws, magpies followed them. Because humans are useful. Humans produce waste. Humans leave food behind. Humans hunt large prey and leave carcasses for birds to eat. In what would become Europe, a raven observes the interaction between Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. 2 human species, very similar yet different. The raven doesn't care about the difference. Both species leave food behind. Both can be observed and learned from. Humans begin to notice the raven's intelligence. In their mythologies, passed down through oral tradition, ravens become symbols, messengers, tricksters, observers. They don't know how right they are. Ravens really do observe. They have been observing for millions of years. Fast forward 40,000 years. 10,000 years ago. The agricultural revolution. Humans settle down. They build permanent structures. They plant crops. They domesticate animals. A crow watches humans sow seeds in neat rows. The crow waits until the humans leave, then steals some seeds. It learns which seeds are the tastiest. It learns to wait for the planting season when food will be plentiful. Humans try to scare the crows away. They build scarecrows, real human figures stuffed with straw. Within a few days, the crows realize the scarecrows pose no threat. They land on them. They mock them. Humans and crows are now in direct competition for resources. Humans see crows as pests. Crows find humans useful but sometimes annoying. Their relationship is complex, hostile, but also strangely symbiotic. Fast forward 5,000 years. 5,000 years ago, human civilizations are rising. Egypt, Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley, China. Ravens watch the pyramids being built. They perch on the sphinxes. They feed on carrion from ancient cities. In Norse mythology, Odin has two ravens that travel the world and bring him knowledge. Hugin and Munin, thought and memory. The myth reflects something real. Ravens really observe. They really remember. They really watch everything. They have been watching for 66 million years. Fast forward 4,800 years, 200 years ago, the Industrial Revolution. Humans are building machines, establishing factories, expanding cities. In London, a crow sits on a factory chimney, watching thousands of people moving through crowded streets. The city is dirty by modern standards, perfect for crows. Trash is everywhere. Rats to hunt. Leftovers on every street. Crows thrive in human cities. They always have. Because cities are ecosystems, and crows can adapt. They've been adapting for 66 million years. People hardly notice individual crows. They're just there, part of the urban landscape. Background noise. But crows notice everything. They learn traffic patterns. They learn which people feed the birds. They learn which restaurants have accessible trash containers. They learn which dogs are chained and which ones can chase freely. They watch. They always watch. Fast forward 150 years. 50 years ago, humans split the atom. They went to the moon. They created computers. They made weapons that could cause another mass extinction. A raven sits on a building near the atomic bomb memorial in Hiroshima. It doesn't understand nuclear weapons, but it knows this place is important to people. It knows people gather here, that they mourn here. The crow doesn't know what irony is, but if it did, it might realize that humans, born from the ashes of the dinosaurs' extinction, have created weapons that could cause their own extinction. Cycles repeat. Dominance is temporary. The crow's ancestors learned this 66 million years ago. Fast forward 50 years. Today, New York City, Manhattan, a crow perched on a traffic light watches a person walking below. Perhaps you on your way to work. Phone in one hand, Starbucks coffee in the other. You are completely unaware you are being watched. The crow watches you with its black, intelligent eyes. Eyes connected to a surprisingly sophisticated brain. Crows can use tools. They can solve multi-step problems. They can recognize human faces and remember them for years. They can hold grudges. They can teach their young which humans are dangerous. They are smart, very smart. Smart in ways humans are only beginning to understand. And they are dinosaurs. That crow's lineage stretches back 66 million years to the small, feathered theropods that survived the asteroid. The same family that produced the Velociraptor. The same clade that includes the T-Rex on its distant branches. You walk past the crow. You don't even look at it. It's just a bird. Part of the city's backdrop. But the crow is watching you. Studying you. It records information about you. What you look like, where you go, whether you pose a threat. And perhaps, just perhaps, in its deep evolutionary memory, encoded in its DNA, there is a trace of recognition. This mammalian species, these two-legged apes. In some ways, they resemble us. They became dominant. They built. They spread across the world, what we once were. And we watched them all this time. We watched them evolve from small, mouse-like creatures hiding from dinosaurs to the dominant species on Earth. 66 million years. Birds have been watching mammals all this time. They are watching us. They watch the species that replaced the dinosaurs, themselves as dinosaurs. The roles have reversed. Hunters became the hunted. Rulers became observers. But the dinosaurs never left. They just changed, adapted, survived, waited, and watched. That crow in New York, it stands on the same evolutionary line as the T-Rex. Different branch, but same tree. Same DNA deep down. Same archosaur ancestors. When a crow looks at you, a dinosaur is looking at you. And when you look back at it, if you bother to look, you're looking at the only dinosaurs that survived extinction. To those who understood that being small and adaptable was better than being big and dominant when the world ended. Today, there are approximately 10,000 bird species. All are dinosaurs. All are descendants of those who survived the KT extinction. All carry 66 million years of evolutionary history. There are approximately 6,000 mammal species, including us. Birds outnumber mammal species. Technically, dinosaurs outnumber mammals in terms of diversity. They're not just the dinosaurs we imagine, not giants, not monsters. The intelligent ones, the adaptable ones, the survivors. And they have watched us throughout our existence as a species. Every sparrow perched on a park bench, every pigeon walking in the city square, every eagle soaring over the mountains, every penguin in Antarctica. They are all dinosaurs. They all carry the legacy of the Mesozoic era. They are all connected to a lineage that witnessed the end of the world and then watched it rebuild. Watching the rise of mammals, watching the evolution of primates, watching the emergence of humans. We think we are the dominant species, the pinnacle of evolution, the rulers of the world. But we have been the rulers of a complex civilization for perhaps 10,000 years, perhaps 200,000 years as a species. Dinosaurs, in the form of birds, have been watching us for 66 million years. And they will probably continue to watch after we are gone, because that's what dinosaurs do. They survive, they adapt, they resist. They survived the asteroid that wiped out 75% of all species. They survived the ice ages. They have survived every extinction event since then. And they will probably survive us too. That crow in New York? It doesn't care about your business, your ambitions, your fears, your dreams. It just knows you are a resource, a creature that produces food waste, a potential threat to be remembered and avoided if necessary. But on a deep, evolutionary, DNA-coded level, it may know something else. It knows that its ancestors ruled this world long before your ancestors came to prominence. It knows that dominance is temporary. It knows that everything will end eventually. And it knows how to wait. 66 million years is a long time to watch, observe, and learn. And the dinosaurs, in bird form, have been watching all this time. They watched mammals evolve from small prey into dominant species. They watched a specific mammal species, us, transform from tree-dwelling primates into civilization-building city makers. They watched us make the same mistakes all dominant species make, growing too big, becoming too dependent on specific conditions, relying too much on our permanence. The dinosaurs made these mistakes once. The asteroid corrected them. Maybe we will learn from this. Maybe we won't. But the dinosaurs, that is, the birds, will watch us regardless. That crow at the traffic light? It's not just a bird. It's a living dinosaur. A creature whose family tree extends back before your family tree existed. Before your species existed. before your genus existed, before primates existed, before mammals dominated the earth, and it is watching you, right now. Perhaps with a bird's consciousness, it wonders, how long will this mammal species survive? How long before they enter the fossil record? How long before the next dominant species emerges, and will we still be here watching? Because that's what dinosaurs do. They survive, they adapt, they watch. 66 million years ago, the dinosaurs died. But they didn't really die. They're still here. They're watching. They always watch. And they'll probably outlive us.